So new music news and my thoughts on the latest songs, albums, and TV shows dropping. Coming right up on episode 6 of The Drop. Are y'all ready? It's lit.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no.
Yeah, what up y'all, it's your boy Bright here, the R&B kid, and you're tuned into another episode of On the Bright Side. On this channel, I talk all things music and entertainment while keeping it real, but always trying to keep things positive and find the bright side of everything. So go ahead and make sure you subscribe because of that, and then after you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell next to it so you get the post notification. So every time I post a new video, you're gonna see it. Alright, so welcome to episode 6 of The Drop. For those of you who are new to my channel or new to this series, this is called The Drop. This is the series I do on my channel where I pretty much just talk about a bunch of new music news and a bunch of new songs and albums and maybe some TV shows or movies that I've just dropped recently that I really want to talk about, but that I probably don't want to dedicate a whole video to. So if I want to talk about a bunch of this stuff going on right now, this is what I'll do. All my current news goes right here. So like I said, this is episode 6 of The Drop. We got a lot of stuff we're going to cover. Y'all ready to get into it? Let's go. Alright, first things up, y'all want to talk about the 2018 XXL Freshman cover. It came out a few weeks ago, and this might be the most interesting cover I think I've ever seen out of all the freshman XXL Freshman covers that have come out. Mainly because this is probably the list where I knew the least amount of people, or at least was really not into the music before the list actually came out. So before this list came out, the only people I knew about everybody on this list besides JID and Wi-Fi's Funeral. I knew about everybody else besides those two guys, but the only people I've actually like listened to the music before the cover came out, I've actually heard a song, was Lil Pump, Stefflon Don, Blockboy JB with Look Alive, and Trippie Redd. Everybody else, I knew them, but I just hadn't really heard their music. So the cover came out, and this is a very interesting cover, like I said, because not a lot of people. This is a really random cover, but I checked out all the freestyles, and if I were to give you guys my ranking of the freestyles, I think the best freestyle to me was JID's freestyle. To me, this dude is giving me something different. He's giving me something really fresh. He changed flows so many times. He's just really like original. His voice is original. His swag is original. He's really like quiet, like to himself he seems, but like when he comes out, he seems like he's the type of rapper that will just kill it every time. So he looks like he has a lot of potential, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he'll do in the game. But to me, he had the best freestyle, so I definitely give it to JID. In second place, I would give it to Ski Mask Slump God. I might have heard his music in passing maybe, but I don't think I've actively checked out this dude's music. But I'll be looking because he seems cool to me. He had the second best freestyle. Kind of like JID, he switched flows like 5-6 different times on his freestyle. But he seems really like talented and really quirky, but in a good way. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's gonna contribute to the game as well. Third on this list, I'll probably give it to Wi-Fi's Funeral. Like I said, I didn't know about him before this cover came out, but he seems cool to me. I really liked his freestyle. It wasn't like in your face, but I just liked the progression of it. And I liked what he was talking about, and I just like his flow. I like his style. So to me, I'll give him number 3. Number 4, I probably give it to my guy Trippie Redd. I've already known about Trippie Redd for a minute now. He's cool, a little bit of a weirdo to me, but you know, some of his songs I really rock with. He's a master of melody, so he knows how to come up with some good melodies on his joints. So shout out to him for that. I'll probably give him number 4. I was really digging his freestyle. Apparently, it was a rehash of something you already did before. I'm not really sure. I don't really know what song it was from. But if it was a rehash, he was corny for that. But if it wasn't a rehash, I did enjoy his freestyle for what it was. Number 5, I'll probably give it to Stefflon Don. I've already loved Stefflon Don for a minute now. I think I talked about her in one of my other drop episodes, maybe drop episode 3 or 4, I think. But I love Stefflon Don. Her big song Hurting Me is a jam. And she has a new song out called Senseless that I'm not really into like that, but it's a cool little summer song. But it was interesting seeing Stefflon Don on this list. She's the only female. But it's also interesting seeing her on this list because I feel like I connect with like the R&B and like reggae side of Stefflon Don's artistry more than her hip-hop side. Like, she's a dope rapper, she can spit, but I'm surprised XXL really featured her out of all the females out right now, because I feel like, to me, Stefflon Don, I feel like she will be more famous for like her R&B and like reggae dancehall poppy joints, so not really her hip-hop stuff. So I think it's interesting that XXL decided to highlight her. I'm not mad at the choice because I like I said, I like her the rapping side of her, but I thought it was interesting that they put her here. But I liked her freestyle. It wasn't nothing crazy, but I liked to put it was, so I'll probably place her number 5 right now. Number 6, I'll probably give that position to, I think I'm gonna give it to Smoke Perp. Smoke Perp to me is like right in the middle. His shit wasn't like, I mean, honestly, all these niggas shit was trash, low key. All these niggas shit was trash, low key. Besides like really JID and like Ski Mask. But yeah, I'll give number 6 to Smoke Perp. He was cool, but nothing crazy. His shit was just average as hell. He like, to me, Smoke Perp screams like a rapper today that I can't distinguish from the next one in terms of the mumble rap, trap rap scene. Like he doesn't give me anything new that I feel like I can hold on to, so I'm not really checking for him. But if y'all think he's dope, let me know. Number 7, I'll probably give that position to YBN Namir. He was definitely on the lower side of things. His shit was trash, but he seemed like a cool little dude, so shout out to him. I'm glad he got the cover, but I wasn't feeling the freestyle, and I don't really know much of his music like that, so it is what it is for him. Number 8, I don't even know if this number is right. I don't know if I lost count, but I think number 8, I give it to Block Boy JB. Block Boy JB's freestyle was trash. I wasn't feeling it, but you know, shout out to him. Obviously his song Look Alive was a jam. I highlighted that in my Bright Side Mix Volume 4, so go check out that video. I'll probably cut up right here. But yeah, I love that song, but he also takes the L for sounding like a feature on his own song. Like Drake made that song. So besides that song, and besides the stupid shoot and whatever dumbass songs he's putting out, like honestly his personality is dope. Like he seems like a dope personality for hip-hop, so I want him around because he's a dope guy. He can dance, but like dancing doesn't make you a dope rapper. But you know, on the rapper side of things, I'm not really seeing it for Block Boy JB. He seemed like a cool dude, but his freestyle was whack to me. And then at last place, I'm gonna give that to obviously Lil Pump. I have nothing against Lil Pump, but Lil Pump's freestyle was straight ass cheeks. It was straight trash. Lil Pump caught a lucky break with Gucci Gang, and now Eshkete. Honestly, both of those I can't deny they're bangers, but Lil Pump to me is just like one of the poster childs of like niggas out here in the rap game just clouding it up with like their bullshit in terms of like you're producing songs that are jams, they're bangers, they're bops, like, but your talent is lackluster. Like your talent is not there, but you make songs that really push you. So I'm not feeling Lil Pump, and his freestyle seems probably the worst. But let me know what y'all think about all of these XXL Freshmen down in the comments below. Let me know who's your favorite, who thought was the worst, who you think should have been on the cover, who wasn't, and who you think who was definitely on the cover, who should not have been. I don't really have that much of beef over who was not on the cover, who was not, because to me, especially 2010, I feel like this list and this cover is not a big deal. But let me know what y'all thoughts will be down in the comments below. Alright, next topic I want to talk about is the new Grammy expansion. So recently, a few weeks ago, an article came out about the Grammys expanding their general categories to now having 8 nominees as opposed to the regular 5. And like I said, this is only for the general categories, not for every category, not for the genre categories, only for the general categories, which are Best New Artist, Album of the Year, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year. When I read this, I was fascinated by this because, as y'all know, I'm a Grammy maven. I'm a Grammy head. So I have a bunch of videos that I did on the Grammy cycle this past year, so go check out those videos. I'll probably put one of the cards up here. But like I said, I love the Grammys, and I thought this is going to be a very interesting move for the Grammy Academy. I think this is a great thing and also a really bad thing. I think it's a great thing because it allows the chance for there to be more hopefully more diversity in these general categories, especially with just having more having equal representation of men and women, hopefully, or at least aiming towards that every year for the future, and also having more of a diversity in the genres that are being represented in the general categories, which tend to be always taken up by pop and or rock and alternative artists and or pretty much white artists. The general categories have not usually left a lot of room for female acts, acts of color, and that's a trend that's been obvious since the Grammy Academy really started. Things have gotten better over time, but that problem has always still been there. So I think expanding the general categories to eight nominees a piece could be a very interesting move towards trying to get rid of that issue in the Grammy process. But I also think it could tend to be a bad thing, because I feel like even if you'll have 3 more positions open for every category, that doesn't necessarily mean that the person who deserves to win is going to actually win. And that's my big issue with it. When you have 5 people in a category, that's still a hard decision to choose between 5 people and figure out who should win the one Grammy. So when you have 8 nominees, it's good that more people will probably get represented who deserve that honor, but at the same time, like, is that gonna make it is that going to make it any better for the person who deserves to win, or is that actually working against them because now they have more competition and more votes to fight with? So let me know what y'all think about this Grammy expansion rule. I think it's interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with it in this first year in 2019 when the Grammys happen next year, but I'm a little bit skeptical about it. But let me know what y'all think about it down in the comments below. So the next topic I want to talk about is the Damon Dash and Lee Daniels and Monique saga right now. So I'm sorry if I don't have all the facts straight, and but I'll try my best to report it as best as I can. But apparently a few weeks ago, I laughed out loud when I first saw this footage, y'all. I was dying, and all I saw was footage of Damon Dash hood ass approaching Lee Daniels sophisticated, high yellow bougie ass at a Diana Ross concert. Talking about where's my money, nigga. Yo, I saw this video and I was dying. So apparently Damon Dash, this is not the first time he's encountered Lee Daniels about the money that Lee Daniels owes Damon Dash, but he encountered him at this, he found Lee Daniels at this Diana Ross concert, approached him about the fact that he still owes him $2 million from a deal that they had a long time ago that Damon Dash has still not recouped the money from Lee Daniels, which I believe was the movie Shadowboxer and or maybe Precious. I've already seen Precious. I love that movie. I've not seen Shadowboxer. Excuse me, but I think Shadowboxer was a film where Damon Dash's production company, or one of his many production companies, lended money to Lee Daniels to finance that movie and produce it. And I guess after all these years, Lee Daniels still never gave Damon Dash back that money. And for people who really know about hip hop and just know about Damon Dash, like y'all know Damon Dash don't play. Like Damon Dash is a hood nigga who found his way up in the corporate American music world, but he don't play games. So I'm very surprised that Lee Daniels would borrow money from Damon Dash and like not think that he had to pay him back after all this time, and that he wouldn't have a problem with it. So Lee Daniels has retaliated in the media, talking about the fact that pretty much like he's saying like, I didn't really watch this video where he's talking about it, but I know he was pretty much saying like, I'm gonna give Damon Dash his money back. But he pretty much like didn't really like, I don't think he admitted to his fault as to why it was whack that he waited all this time to not pay him his money and to avoid Damon Dash all this whole time. And then he also took that time, I think it was the same interview, he took that time to air out Monique and throw shots at Monique again, about Monique's claims that that Lee Daniels didn't pay her enough for her work in Precious and all that stuff, even though she didn't promote the film. So that's why she was blacklisted from the industry, even though she won her Oscar back in 2010. So you already know that whole story. So they went at it again over that interview where Lee Daniels said that Monique needs to shut up and that she needs to, like, it's all kinds of crazy shit, y'all. And then Monique had another video pretty much where she said, listen, y'all, this new Netflix deal that's going around the news where I was offered $10 million for this new Netflix show or special or whatever, it's a hoax, it's not true. And I believe her. I don't believe that's true, because if it was true, Monique would have came out and formally said, you know what, Netflix, y'all got it right, y'all gave me my money, and y'all gave me a good deal, this is over, now we can all move forward. But she didn't say that, so I know it's not true. And in the same video, Monique said, listen, Lee Daniels, you shut up. And that shit had me dying, son. Yo, Monique and Lee Daniels are like two petty ass, like little black, like, brother and sister that be fighting in the house, and the mom be like, shut up, both of you. And they be like, like, that's what Lee Daniels and Monique give me, like two little bratty ass kids just fighting about some dumb shit that it would not be that serious if they just sat down and talked about it. But let me know what y'all think about this whole Damon Dash situation. I'm team Damon Dash. Lee Daniels, you wrong. Give that man his money back. Apparently Damon Dash already took him to court once, but I guess that wasn't enough, or I don't know if they settled it or whatever. But yeah, Damon Dash, I'm on your team, man. Lee Daniels, give him his money back. And Monique, shout out to you. Keep fighting your good fight, and we'll all be here to see what happens. Alright, y'all, so for some new music news, I had to shout out Cardi B. I feel like I've mentioned Cardi B in almost every drop episode I've done, but Cardi B's out here with another achievement. I'm still shocked by all the achievements Cardi B is continuing to rack up in this like past year that she's had. Cardi B is now the only rapper in the history of music, the only female rapper to not have more than one #1 single to her name on the Billboard Hot 100. With I Like It, her song with J Balvin and Bad Bunny, which is a fucking bop. With that song, I Like It, which is a current single off of her album, Invasion of Privacy. With that song becoming with it now hitting #1 on the Hot 100 this past week, Cardi B now has her second #1 to her name. The first, obviously, being Bodak Yellow. And when I Like It hit #1 on the Hot 100, I went crazy. I was like, oh my god, this is history before our eyes. Before now, Lil' Kim had a #1 single with Lady Marmalade. Shawnna had a #1 single with Ludacris, Stand Up. Fucking classic bop. Iggy Azalea had a #1 with Fancy. And who else had number 1? Lauryn Hill with Doo Wop That Thing. And I think that was it. Maybe somebody else. That was it. So regardless, all those females in the history of music who've had number 1 singles who are female rappers, they only had one of them. But now Cardi B is the first female rapper in the history of music to have more than one number 1 song to her name, which I think is a crazy achievement. Cardi B is just getting lucky out here, y'all. But I have to give her a quick shout out. Her baby about to pop out any day now. That baby girl is coming, and I just feel like it's nothing but blessings for Cardi right now. You know, number 1 album, now 2 number 1 singles. She got the baby coming out. She back with her man. Hope that's all good. You know, like, shout out to Cardi B, man. She's just out here doing it. Just out here doing it, man. That's inspiration right there for you, man. I'm telling you. Shout out to Cardi B. Damn. And speaking of female rappers, I also want to give a shout out to Remy Ma. Remy Ma is pregnant. Shout out to her and Papoose. Probably one of my favorite black couples in the entire world. Probably one of my favorite examples of this real black love in 2018. And just in this modern generation, shout out to Papoose and Remy Ma. You know, as y'all know, Remy Ma has had a lot of issues with trying to get pregnant over the past couple of years. She's had a lot of issues, but I think she's like 4 months pregnant now. So shout out to Remy Ma. I'm happy for her. I don't know what this is gonna do for the music. I've been waiting on 7 Winters and 6 Summers. I've been waiting on that album, but I guess we're not getting it anytime soon. I don't know. But shout out to Remy Ma for the new baby. I hope it comes out healthy when it comes. Shout out to Remy Ma. Shout out to y'all. Alright, last piece of music news. I want to talk about Teyana Taylor and her K.T.S.E album. The K.T.S.E album, I did a reaction on that album. Go check out the video. I'll probably put the cut up right here. I like that album. It's cool. I really think that album is a vibe. But I think I even mentioned in my review, in my reaction of the album, how I felt like it was somewhat incomplete and it felt somewhat rushed and like it wasn't the exact version of the album that I think was supposed to come out. And Teyana Taylor and I think not Kanye, but Pusha T have confirmed in different interviews that pretty much, you know, after the album dropped, Teyana obviously was going back with people about what happened and why samples weren't cleared and parts were missing that apparently I guess she wasn't really aware of before the album dropped. And I think Kanye even she even said that Kanye was working on the album up until the day it was released. He was working on it on a plane in the final mixing and mastering. But I just want to talk about the album real quick because Teyana Taylor did promise us last week in the Big Boy interview that we were getting a re-release and a repackaging of the album, either I guess last week or this week, and it has not come to be. Teyana Taylor has also now recently said that she's canceled the re-release and the repackaging of the album, and that we'll be getting no update of KTSE. And I'm a little bit split. I'm happy because at the end of the day, I'm cool with us moving on from this album, which I feel like wasn't put out in the best way, even though it's a nice listen. But I'm also a little bit disappointed because I actually really did want to see what this album is going to be like in its real form, the way Teyana Taylor meant for it to come out. So I'm a little bit split on it. I really wish we could have gotten it, but at the end of the day, I don't blame Teyana for wanting to move on. And apparently now she's going to be releasing a collab album with Ty Dolla $ign in the future. So I'm looking forward to seeing what will come of that. I don't know I think they'll definitely sound good together, but I don't know how the project will come about. I don't know if the project will be good, but I'm looking forward to seeing what they'll come up with. But yeah, KTSE, there'll be no update, man. I'm a little bit sad about it, but let me know how y'all feel about it down in the comments below. Alright, y'all, so I'm going to talk about, this is the new song section of the drop. I'm going to talk about a lot of new songs that are coming out that I want you to check out, that I just want to give my opinion on. First up is the new Boot Up remix by Ella Mai featuring Nicki Minaj and Quavo. This Boot Up remix is trash, y'all. I don't know why. Actually, I'm not gonna say I don't know why the remix came about, because obviously Nicki Minaj and Quavo are 2 artists right now that have mad clout. So of course it makes sense for them to jump on this remix. But in terms of the quality of the song, I don't know why they came on the song this way. You know, Nicki Minaj gave bars related to, you know, the word boo and like, you know, talking about relationships and being bait up. So her rap made sense, but it was just so like not creative, and it was so like not like original, and it was just like it's just like Nicki. It almost sounded like Nicki gave no effort in her verse. And then Quavo came on here with his ad libs and with his little part, and it just didn't really feel like a level. Like usually Quavo levels up songs, but like for once Quavo did not level up the song at all. Like I don't think he made it sound any better at all. So I appreciate what Nicki Minaj and Quavo were trying to do on this remix, but it was trash. And that little call at the end between Nicki and Quavo was mad corny and just weird. Shout out to all the people who are jumping on the song. T-Pain did the remix, which was great. Fabulous did the remix, which was cool. Shout out to those guys, whoever else is trying to jump on the song. Everyone loves the song right now, which is cool. But yeah, Nicki Minaj and Quavo, I'm a little bit annoyed because I think it's the official remix of the song, which is sad because it's whack as hell. But shout out to Boot Up, still a bop regardless. Boot up, yeah, my heart goes boot up, baby, it just won't stop here. Black just released his new song called Switch a few weeks ago. This song is cool to me. I'm not gonna lie, when I love Black, by the way, but I think Black is an interesting artist, but I think a lot of songs that he comes out with, like, I don't really like him the first time I hear it, but then after a couple listens, I'm like, okay, no, this is everything. And I think he did it again. This song Switch, I didn't really like it when I first heard it. I was like, okay, this kind of is cool, but it's boring. But I really like it now. It's not as in your face as a lot of his other joints are in terms of the groove and the vibe, but it's still nice for the summer. And I'm thinking this is obviously going to lead to a new release from Black, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Black is going to give us next. Hopefully we get a new album this year. But this song Switch is cool. It's pretty much talking about, you know, people switching and trying to be like living each other's shoes and looking at things from the other person's side. Yeah, so it's pretty much just all about relationship dynamics and all that stuff. And it was a cool little track, you know, typical typical Black music. But I definitely wanted to highlight it for y'all. So y'all let me know what y'all think about the song down below. Justin Timberlake also came out with the new song SoulMate, which is a very interesting move for me because I thought, listen, the Man of the Woods album, I did a reaction and review for the album that a lot of y'all love. So if you've not checked it out, I'll probably put the card up right here. Go check out that video. I still like that album to this day. I think a lot of people think it's trash, but I think it's just a corny excuse for the fact that he was like a part of the whole Janet situation, which I get, but I'm not, like, musically, Justin Timberlake has always been on point for me. The Man of the Woods album, I enjoyed it, but America has pretty much dismissed it because y'all not buying it, y'all not streaming it, y'all not checking for it no more, and nothing else has popped off of the album. So I'm not surprised that he released a new standalone single, but I feel like he had plenty of enough ammo on the Man of the Woods album, so I don't know. But Justin Timberlake just released a new song called SoulMate, produced by my guy 1985 and written by probably him and Justin Timberlake and James Fauntleroy. So that's a good team right there. That's a good songwriting and production team right there. I love those guys. The song is cool. I enjoy it. It's definitely not in your face like you know, up there with some of Justin Timberlake's best work, but I definitely like the vibe of the record. I think it's just something that's kind of missing, I think, to really make it something was missing to really have made it pop. But it's a nice mellow groove song. It has a lot of synthesizers on it. It has like a really nice, like, you know, late at night summer beach, like tropical vibe to it, with like some really like groovy synths and like a nice groovy bass line. So it's a really chill song. I like it. I don't know if it's gonna chart or if it's really gonna be a hit, because I feel like people are just kind of not here for Justin Timberlake no more. But I enjoy the song for what it is. So let me know what y'all think about SoulMate down in the comments below. Alright, some last few songs I want to show to you guys. I really think I wanted to highlight, in case you have not heard about these songs, I really want to highlight Samm Henshaw's song How Does It Feel. This is a guy that I just stumbled upon recently, but I really like his vibe. He gives you that traditional old school R&B, amazing jazzy instrumentation of the song, and so it's really refreshing. It has a summer vibe to it, but it's timeless and classic at the same time. And this guy's young, doing his thing. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he'll do. I like this song, so definitely go check out this record. Next up is Friction and JP Cooper with their new song called Dancing. I don't know if I mentioned on this channel a lot, but I really am a really big like dance and house music fan. I love house music and I love dance and like breakbeat music. I'm a big fan of that whole genre. So JP Cooper and Friction teamed up for this new song called Dancing that I love. I checked out the video, which was dope as well. It had this black guy dancing throughout, which I'm assuming somewhere in London. It was amazing. But I really love this song, so I really want y'all to check it out. I feel like this is one of those songs that will make you feel good no matter what you're doing. It'll make you want to dance, and it's really vibey. I love how like hypnotic dance music is, so obviously this song fits the bill, and I just love how it sounds. So definitely go check out this record, you'll love it. Last song I want to highlight is my man Jaden Smith's new song Ghost. Jaden Smith, like we all know, is someone who I really didn't think would come up and make a name for himself in the rap game, but he already has a gold single to his name with the song Icon. His album did pretty well when it came out, and now he has a new song called Ghost. This song is a vibe. It kind of walks on somewhat of a, not gonna say mumble rap, but somewhat like, you know, like all this new basic hip hop shit coming out. This song kind of treads on that a little bit with the vibe, but there's something special about Jaden where I feel like his voice and his swag is really on point, where I feel like he really could do something in music like long term. He really has a great disposition for rap, and I think he's good at it. His flow is dope, his voice is dope, his swag is dope. So I really like this song. It's a vibe. I really think it's cool. Nothing crazy, but it's a cool little bop. The beat bangs. He's doing his thing on the song. So I definitely would say go check out this record. I think you'll think it's cool. Okay, and I'm gonna get into album mode. So I want to talk about a bunch of albums that have dropped recently that I didn't really do a whole video on. First up is J-Rock with his Redemption album. Guys, I low-key feel bad that I didn't even do a whole video on J-Rock's album because I didn't really have enough time to really pan one out. But this album is amazing, y'all. Probably one of the, definitely like top 3 probably albums of the year so far for me in hip-hop. This album is amazing, and I feel like it just quietly came and went, but I feel like more attention needs to be put on this album right now. J-Rock has been such a consistent member of the TDE camp, and this is now his 3rd album, which he dropped on TDE back on June 15th. This record is amazing. My favorite songs so far, I think, are The Bloodiest. I love ES Tales and Rotation 112. That was Rotation was a creative ass song. I didn't like Tap Out at first when I first heard the song with Jeremiah, but you know, every great rap album needs like, you know, sort of like, you know, party for the ladies. I'm a fuck you joint, whatever. So that was Tap Out for you, but it's a vibe now. Another highlight is OSOM featuring J. Cole. That video was dope too, a dope message, creative as hell. But I love that song with J. Cole. I also love the song Broke Plus Minus. That beat goes hard. And obviously the single Win, which I think is an amazing like workout song. It's an amazing, I think, like just anthem for people just trying to get it in life right now and just do something with your life. So I definitely love the song Win. This whole album is a banger from head to toe. When I first heard it, I thought there were a bunch of songs that I thought were like an eye, but then when I heard it again, I was like, no, this whole album is just fire. So shout out to J-Rock with this consistent ass record. Amazing songs on here. There's literally not one song that you can't appreciate for at least what it is. And the highlights are just out of this world. So definitely shout out to J-Rock. And I'm looking forward to seeing if he'll be able to put out any more singles from this album. You guys already know King's Dead. That's been his only big win as an artist, no pun intended. But I really think J-Rock deserves way more attention. This album is fire. Next up is Jacquees with his new album, his debut album 4275, which dropped back in June, on June 15th on Cash Money Records. If you probably know who Jacquees is. He's Mr. BED and then BED, or you probably know the song with Dej Loaf, At the Club, which is a fucking bop. I highlight that song in my Bright Side Mix Volume 2, so go check out that video. I'll probably cut up right here. But if you don't know who Jacquees is, he's an amazing artist. Description of him, I'd probably say he's just like your typical like young hood gutter R&B, a cat out here really trying to do his thing. His music is smooth, it's real R&B, it's gritty, it's hood, but it still harkens back to like past times in terms of like his vocals. Like if I were to perfectly describe Jacquees is like a modern day K.T.S.E from K.T.S.E and JoJo from Jodeci. To me, like Jacquees is a modern day K.T.S.E with like the gritty, raspy, like smooth R&B tone, but it's like gospel at the same time. So it's like it's gentle, but it's rough and hood at the same time. So Jacquees is like a modern day K.T.S.E. I love his music. I didn't have time to make a whole video for this album, but I definitely want to talk about it because I like this album a lot, but I will say that I'm a little bit disappointed in that it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. This is Jacquees' debut album, so it's okay. He still has a lot of room to grow. He still has a lot of time to grow. But Jacquees is someone who I think, because he's been waiting so long to put this album out, I think he wanted to put this album out even as far back as like 2016, early 2017. So we're finally getting it out in June 2018, and I feel like after all this time, he should have made a masterpiece. And I think what brings down this album is just the fact that it was way too long. It had way too many tracks on it. I think there's like 18 or 19 tracks on it. Way too many tracks for a debut album from an artist that nobody like knows, and people are still getting to know Jacquees. So I feel like for him to put 18 tracks on this album was a bad idea. It's way too many tracks for a lot of people to want to get into you, and the album was way too long. And on top of that, I think Jacquees really needs to work on his songwriting, which is awkward because I think a lot of his songwriting in the past has been way better. Like I enjoyed his Mood mixtape, which came out back in 2016, his This Time I'm Serious EP, which came out a few months ago. I feel like a lot of those songs has had like way better songwriting on them than on this album. This album is a lot of great production, but it's like his songwriting was lacking. A lot of these songs were like really basic and not really talk about nothing, or like really repetitive. He's the guy that talks about like, you know, fucking chicks and like, you know, all that stuff like throughout the whole album. And it's like, all right, Jacquees, like I wanted more variety in topics and stuff like that. And also he named this album 4275 because I think that's like the number of the address of his house where he grew up. So I was hoping this album would be like way more biographical, and I feel like the only thing we got about him biographically was like the intro for the album, where like a bunch of his family members started talking about his come up in the game and his past life and him needing to succeed and all that stuff. So that was cool to hear. But it's like, besides the intro, I didn't really feel like we got a lot of autobiographical vibes on this album, and that would have been nice to see that for Jacquees on his debut record. But it is what it is. But sonically, it's still a great project. There's bops on this album. The songs I didn't enjoy that much, I probably say, were The first two songs after the intro, 4275, the title track with Jermaine Dupri. Shout out to Jermaine Dupri for giving him a shout out on this album, but I didn't like that song, and I also didn't like the song I Know Better, the song that came right after that. I didn't like those two songs, and I also didn't like Infatuated, the song with Latasha Scott, that much on this album, and also the song with Dej Loaf's Red Light. I didn't like those songs, but the songs I really did like, I really like the song 23, even though I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to perform the song when he's like in his 30s and 40s or whatever, if he's still here. But I like 23 a lot. That song's a vibe. You already know BED, that's his hit single, great song. I also love Beauty Doesn't Cry. That's a nice, beautiful R&B record right there. No Validation is a cool song. Inside is a current single off the album, and that's a vibe. You know, just a regular ass sexy song with Trey Songz, but I love the beat and it's a good vibe. I also love the songs House or Hotel towards the end, and Play the Field. It's a great R&B record. That sounds like a 90s record. And I also love Whatever You're Into. So those are good songs. I think what really helps this album stand out is how it really sounds like you can really tell like Jacquees is influenced by a lot of like late 90s, early 2000s artists, because that sound really comes up a lot in this album in great ways. But like I said, all I want for Jacquees to do now is just get more creative with that pen, get more variety in producers, and just more creative ideas, and really allow him, and really like pick better songs that really allow him to show the greatness of his voice. His voice is sick. So it's like I want him to get better songs that just show how great he is, and make an album that's more succinct so people want to get into you, and you'll have bigger hits, and then people will latch onto you. I also want to shout out Meek Mill. Meek Mill just released his new EP, Legends of the Summer, a few days ago. The single that came off this EP was a song called Stay Woke featuring Miguel, which they performed at the BET Awards. Go check out my review of the BET Awards right here. I'll probably put the cut up right there. One of my favorite performances of the BET Awards was definitely Meek Mill and Miguel performing this song. And it's the last song on this EP. It's 4 tracks. I think he released it on Atlantic, I think, or let me see if that's right. He released it on Maybach Music and Atlantic. Yep. So it starts off with the track Millie Philadelphia, which featuring Swiss Beats, which is a cool song. I like it. It was a cool way to start the album off. You know, just Meek Mill talk, popping his shit, talk about how he's running Philly and just coming up through his struggles. And then we get Dangerous with Jeremiah and P&B Rock, which is a cool little sexy, nice little hit. So that's probably like the hit he's trying to get off of this EP. And then we got 1 AM, which is a cool joint. And then, like I said, Stay Woke. So this album was really, this EP was really nice. I enjoyed it. I definitely want you to go check it out. And let me know what was your favorite track. Next up, I want to talk about my girls, June's Diary. June's Diary has now released their first original piece of work in their new EP called All of Us. If you don't know who June's Diary is, you're doing yourself a disservice. I know they don't get no promo, nobody knows about them, they're still building their name, but they are the group that was formed by Kelly Rowland and Frank Gatson, or from the show Chasing Destiny from back in 2016. I watched that show, I checked it out, so I saw their journey to Kelly Rowland and Frank Gatson, making them, or trying to make them become a girl group, picking all the girls, just like in a Making the Band style. They picked the 5 girls in the group, and they've been building ever since with recording material, and trying to find their sound, and just trying to make it work in the industry. Unfortunately, with the release of this EP, they did let their fans know that they were dropped from Epic Records back in 2017, which makes sense as to why it's been so quiet for them. And I don't know if that's because Epic didn't believe in them, or if the money wasn't right, or whatever, but I think that was a bad move on Epic's part, because I think June's Diary has what it takes to really take over the world. Like, to me, their talent, their swag, their personality, the music they could create, even though the world is not really on R&B right now, I just think they have what it takes to be superstars. Like, they're all amazingly talented, and to all 5 of them together, it's just like one super group. So I love June's Diary. This new EP is cool. I will admit, I'm a little disappointed, only because I'm a big fan of June's Diary, and I know, like, I've heard like a lot of the material that they've recorded over the past couple years as they become a new group, and I feel like this EP doesn't show like the fire that they can really produce. I did highlight their songs Rather Be in Love and I Know Why You Callin' back late last year in my Bright Time Mix Volume 1. So go check out that video if you want to go check it out. I'll probably put it up right here if I can put it in the card. But those 2 songs were amazing records. They were just dropped on the internet. They were not given an official release, but those songs are gems, and I was hoping we get more material like that on this EP. But instead we got 6 songs, 2 of which we've already heard. All of Us was the first song they released as a group right after they were formed, and they smacked a new Trina verse on it, which was cool. I still like that song, so it was cool to see it here. And the name of the EP is All of Us, so I'm glad they actually finally put this song on an official project instead of just letting it out there as a single. And Trina's verse was definitely appreciated. And they also have the song as the last track on the album called Hurt People, which is Jussie Smollett's song. I'm actually very disappointed that this song is on the EP because this is Jussie Smollett's song, and June's Diary had been performing this song with Jussie Smollett for a long time now, which is cool. But for this to have been their debut EP, I would have rather them spent more of the time on the EP with their own content and their own music, and not someone else's song that they did or that they put vocals over. So I appreciate the collab, but I didn't really like it on the EP. But shout out to Jussie Smollett because they released this EP on his label, which I think is a very sad thing to think about because I feel like they deserve to be on a major label, or at least a label with clout. No shade to Jussie Smollett, but nobody knows him or his label, so I think it's sad that they had to release this EP on his label. But it did go to #1 on iTunes though, so shout out to June's Diary for that. But other songs on this EP that I really do like, I love the song Good Time. That's the first track off the EP. I've been hearing them perform the song live for a mad long now, so I'm glad we finally got the official studio version. It's a great track, shout out to them. That song is really taking it back to like old school, just like piano, instrumentation, just real instruments, that real jazzy R&B vibe. So this is a cool sound for them. I really like this song. It was a great way to start the EP. Then we have Take Me, which is a like more tropical dance hall, song on the album that they really did make sound good, and it works. So I like this song as well. Definitely could be a future single if they wanted it to. And then we have track 3, which is Have You Ever, which is really more of a stripped back, more acoustic, somewhat like 90s sounding R&B ballad. I think this song is amazing, has great lyrics on it. It's really relatable. It's pretty much saying, have you ever like harmed yourself because of how much you love somebody else, or have you ever like risked your own like happiness and self-worth because of loving someone else? And a lot of people can relate to that. So that was a deep song, great production, great vocals, good one. But yeah, all in all, this EP was good, but I was hoping that we were gonna get like way more fire on it, and I don't think I really got that. But maybe they're saving their fire for their album, which hopefully will come out sometime next year. And in the meantime, I hope they continue to work singles off of this EP, or if they want to just leave this EP as it is, maybe start coming out with more singles that are more ready for the mainstream market. And I'm just looking forward to see what June's Diary will do from here on out, because they are an amazing group. Stop sleeping on them. Okay, our next project I wanted to talk about is the new Uncle Drew soundtrack. I have to talk about this soundtrack because no one's talking about it, and this soundtrack is fire to me. This Uncle Drew soundtrack is probably one of the most underrated projects I think out all year, especially in terms of like the hip hop and R&B world. One of the most underrated projects out. I'm gonna check out I'm trying to hopefully check out the Uncle Drew movie, either in theaters or whenever it comes out. Find it online. But I'm looking forward to seeing that movie. It looks cool. I think it's about Kyrie Irving's like alter ego character called Uncle Drew, who's some old ass black guy who like is sick at basketball. So it's something like that. So it looks like it's a cool little funny movie. But this soundtrack is amazing. I have to talk about it. Some of my favorite tracks off of this soundtrack are 1942, the song with G-Eazy featuring Yo Gotti and YBN Namir. This song is a banger. Every time I hear it, I'm just like, I'll be hearing it in the gym all the time. Like I love this song. 1942 is a straight banger. And then we got New Thing. That song is with French Montana and Remy Ma. That beat by Harry Fraud is dope, and it sounds like a high energy basketball game on a track, so it fits perfectly. But that definitely was a highlight off the soundtrack for me, banger. And I also love the song Light Flex, which is Tone Stiff featuring 2 Chainz. Tone Stiff is such an underrated R&B guy out here. He's crazy. He can do everything. He can produce, he can write, he can dance, he can sing, he can do everything. And this song is a straight banger. It's a straight bop. Like this soundtrack has good songs on it, y'all. I'm telling y'all. So go check out Light Flex, Tone Stiff featuring 2 Chainz. And then I also love the song Chain Gang by like Kaylee47. This is a female rapper I've been hearing about over the past few months, and she seems like she's really talented. This Chain Gang song was so original and so creative and so vibey, so definitely go check out that song. And I also love the song, and now taking it to more R&B, we have the track I Need Your Lovin' by Nayo. I love Nayo's voice, she's cool, and I love her vibe, and this song is just so classic and but retro and timeless at the same time, so I would definitely love the song. I definitely thought it was a highlight for the soundtrack. And then after that we have the song Stay featuring by Khalid. This song honestly could be like current single for Khalid right now. It's such a like timeless like R&B jam, but it's still current and vibe at the same time. I think I would love to see like Khalid give this a video or just something. Like I feel like this needs to be promoted. Like it's a great track. Stay sounds like a 90s 2000s R&B, like, you know, like it sounds like an Usher ballad somewhere, you know, but with a nice little groove under it. So definitely go check out this record. And then I think lastly I want to highlight the songs Clap Your Hands featuring Grace, and then the last song on the album, Ridiculous, which is Kyrie Irving's song. So Clap Your Hands, I love Grace. She's an amazing artist. I'm telling you, Australia has a lot of amazing talent. She's a white girl from Australia that sings R&B music, but she's dope. Go check her out. But Grace really recorded the song Clap Your Hands that is a straight like gospel, like R&B hip hop banger. It's all three combined and it's dope. I love this song, y'all. It's a straight banger. Clap your hands, that'll be alright. Hey, clap your hands, that'll be alright. Song is a fucking banger, y'all. And then the last song, Ridiculous. This is Kyrie Irving featuring Lunch Money Lewis. This is it was such a cool song. I didn't know Kyrie Irving can sing. I didn't know he could sing at all, but his voice was good on the track. It was pretty good. And then Lunch Money Lewis definitely helped the track. And it was a cool way to end off the album. It sounded like a basketball game, and it was just dope. So definitely go check out this soundtrack. Don't sleep on it. You will not regret it. You're gonna find a song on this album that you love. Trust me. Next up is A Boogie with the Hoodie with his new album called International Artist. Apparently it's an album, but it really feels like an EP. It's only like 26 minutes and has 8 tracks on it. But this is A Boogie with Hoodie's second album, International Artist. This dropped back in June 20th. This album is cool, but it's average. I just want to talk about it because I feel like it was a very interesting album. In an era where everybody wants to do everything musically, A Boogie with the Hoodie and this whole album was a poster child of artists trying to do everything under the sun musically, which can be a good thing for some people and a bad thing for some others. I don't really think it hurt A Boogie here, but this album did sound a little bit all over the place. So this album pretty much was like A Boogie trying to show that he could work with like artists from all over the world. We have Davido on the first track, Way Too Fly, which I love. That was A Boogie's take on an Afrobeat record, and I think he did a good job on it. He sounded good in it. That collab was dope, and I love that song. To me, it was a highlight and definitely one of my favorite songs off the EP. And I've been bumping that song consistently, so I really like the song Way Too Fly. Then we have MIA featuring Cap G. I did not like this song. Just a regular American hood rap trap song. Then we had Nonchalant with Alkaline. This was A Boogie's take on a reggae and dancehall joint. He did a good job on this one. I really liked his voice on the hook. Nonchalant. It was cool. This was a vibey record, so I appreciate this. Definitely a track I liked off this album. And then we have Pretending with Jessie Reyez. This is another highlight for me. I love this track. Jessie Reyez killed the hook. I love what she did on it. And this was a nice vibey, groovy beat. So I really like this, and I really liked what it was talking about too. And then we have Best Friend with Tory Lanez, another regular American, I guess Canadian trap song. I didn't like it. Then we have Pull Up featuring Nav. I also didn't like the song as well. I think A Buddy, like all the worst tracks on this album were the ones that were like the more American rap songs, which is funny enough in itself. Then we had Deja Vu. I also didn't like the song. This was his take on like a Latin sound. He teamed up with Jay Alvarez on this song Deja Vu. I didn't like this song. And then we also have the last song on the album called Check. And this is A Boogie's version of the song by R.A.Y.E. or Ray and Kojo Funds, which are 2 UK artists. Like UK R&B hip hop artists. So I love that song. I love the sample of I think is it 7 Days by Craig David or one of his other songs. But it's a Craig David sample, and I love that record. It's a great party jam, so that's definitely a highlight for me off this album. But yeah, like I said, this album is a little bit all over the place musically. I give it like a 3 out of 5. It's okay, but definitely some jams for sure. So let me know. Speaking of international artists, I also want to give love to my guy Sean Paul. Sean Paul just dropped a new EP called Mad Love the Prequel, I think this past week on June 29th. This EP is dope. It's just full of pretty much a lot of the current songs that Sean Paul has dropped in the last few years and some new joints. You might already know songs, or the songs that have already been released are Mad Love featuring Becky G. That's a jam. Great party starter. Tip on It, his song with Major Lazer. I love that song. And you might have heard his song with Migos called Body. That song is on here. And we also have Take Away Your Heart featuring Tory Lanez, which I think really should have been a hit. I don't know what happened with that song. And then we have No Lie featuring Dua Lipa, which has already been released as a single as well. So yeah, all these songs are dope. This is like Sean Paul on his like reggae dancehall meets EDM meets tropical meets pop shit throughout the whole record. I think a lot of these songs actually really worked. So I wanted to give some love to my guy Sean Paul. When I really heard the EP again, I was like, a lot of these songs are really like good songs. Sean Paul ain't really getting no love out here like that no more, but he's making some jams that ain't nobody hearing. So go check out this EP, and I'm pretty sure you'll find a song that you love on it. So definitely go check it out. Alright y'all, for all my R&B lovers out there, for all my R&B heads, I got a project for y'all. Especially for all my old school R&B lovers. If you have lost faith in modern R&B, I got an album for you. This is Ray's Love on the Way album. This is the album that came out last month in June. But no one's talking about this album. I don't really know much about this artist called Ray. It's spelled with the I, R-A-I. He's a very interesting dude. I don't really know much about him, like I said, but I'm really looking forward to hopefully learning more about him and his life and you know what he's about, because this album is amazing, guys. This is probably, I think, one of the best R&B albums of the year so far, in terms of like just more traditional sounding on R&B, not like the new shit, like not contemporary, in terms of like modern traditional R&B, more traditional R&B. This is one of the best records of the year. From track 1 to 12, this album is so consistent. Good vocals, amazing production, good writing, just all around great musicality. Probably some of my favorite tracks on this album, probably Here I Am. Priceless is a great throwback song. Who Needs Love is a great record. I love the title track, Love's on the Way, is a single off of the album right now. Great track. And a lot of songs at the end. Fall Back is a vibe. Get You Home is cool. I love probably my favorite track of this album is a track number 11 called Smile. That song is so beautiful and so R&B. It's such a good record. So for all you R&B lovers out there that are looking for some like fresh R&B that's good quality, that's timeless, that you can be like, oh my god, like I need to put my friends onto this shit, like this album by Ray, Love's on the Way, definitely is one of those songs you need to go, one of those albums you definitely need to have on your list. One of the best of the year so far, and I definitely recommend it, so please go check it out. Alright y'all, now we're on my show part of the drop. This is a new segment I'm adding, but it made perfect sense for me to add this to the drop. You know, I've never really found out a way to sneak the shows that I'm watching and movies into my channel, but not found a good way to do it. I'm going to talk about it in the drop. So I'm going to talk about some shows that I'm really watching, or that I have watched recently, that I really want to recommend to you guys if you haven't seen them already. And first up is Evil Genius. This is a Netflix docu-series that premiered back in May. I checked it out last month and I was hooked on it. It's only 4 episodes. It's a 4-part series about the pizza bomber, which was something that happened back in 2003. I was a kid, so I don't remember this happening, but apparently this was a case that happened back in 2003 with a man that had a collar bomb strapped to his neck and he was forced to rob a bank somewhere in Erie, Pennsylvania, and he was forced to do this by a group of people who he was not connected to for a long, or they were all connected but they weren't connected. So this whole series is about the murder of him and that bank heist and the aftermath of the bank heist, with the people who were at the center of it, which was Marjorie Diehl Armstrong and some other guy that she was in love with. And it's pretty much about the soul story behind this and how they did it and why they did it, all that stuff. It was an amazing watch. I definitely would recommend go checking that out. And then after Evil Genius, I wanted to recommend The Staircase to you guys. This is a show I just finished on Netflix. Long as hell. It was like really stuffy and long, but a great watch. And it was about the case back in 2001 of Michael Peterson and his wife Kathleen Peterson, a woman who was found dead at the bottom of her staircase while her husband was the only person that was at home that night. And it pretty much follows the story of that case from 2001 up until now, where he was tried for the murder of his wife. He was convicted by a jury, but then he got an appeal all these years later, and he could have fought it again, but decided to not fight and just take a plea. And he still to this day, he claims that he was innocent, and it just shows you all the trial tribulations and all the stuff that went into that family and that story. And so yeah, like I said, it was a long watch, but definitely a good series to go check out if you're really into like murder mysteries and documentary series and stuff like that. You'll definitely love this. Definitely love this series, so definitely go check it out. And lastly, a show that I wanted to talk about is a show called Safe, which is a show I'm actually just starting up. So I haven't finished yet, but I wanted to talk about it because I'm really into it. So I definitely want to recommend you guys to watch it. I think I'm on like episode 3 or 4. It has 8 episodes, but it's about this family in the UK who lost, or it's about a man who's trying to find his missing child, his missing daughter, sometime after the death of his wife. And it's pretty much a series about all these connected families in this safe suburban neighborhood and how they're all connected to this incident of her pretty much disappearing and her boyfriend disappearing. So I'm in the middle of it, but it's a captivating watch. I definitely want to recommend to you guys. If you've already seen it, don't spoil it for anybody down below. But yeah, definitely go check out Safe, because I'm gonna keep checking it out when I finish this video, okay? Alrighty, y'all, so that was episode 6 of The Drop. Hope you guys enjoyed all the stuff I talked about, all the music news, all the new songs and albums and shows that have come out that I talked to you guys about. Hope you enjoyed everything. If you haven't already, hit this video with a like, share this video, and subscribe to my channel, okay? I appreciate you. And like I always say, guys, continue to live your best life, drink more water, stay woke, and if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song. Make you feel better, okay? Go listen to your favorite song. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. But this has been your boy Bright, the R&B kid. But for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, yo.
You came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no. I came to vibe. You came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no.